Hello everyone and welcome to Little Life Story and Song Time. Well, if we'd been at Little Life this week, we were going to find out how amazing frogs and toads are. But the first thing we're going to do is going to take a walk down my garden because I found something in my tiny little pond that I've never seen before, and I hope with this video you'll be able to see it too. So if you're ready, we'll go down the garden. Okay, and off we go down the garden. The first thing you can see is my big pond, and in here there are lots of fish. Usually this time of year you don't see them at the top very often. They just tend to hide right down the bottom where it's nice and warm for them. Have a look here. It's my beautiful magnolia tree with all the lovely blossom and flowers on. We was down here past the little slide and the trampoline and the apple trees too, and we get down to my tiny little pond, which is just here. And if you look carefully in the middle of the screen, you will see lots and lots of little black dots, and that is toad spawn. Toad spawn will always grow like a string of beads, just like a necklace, whereas frog spawn grows, or the frog will lay it in clumps, where the toad lays it in strings. So that's how you can tell the difference. Isn't that exciting? And you know, this is the first time I've ever seen toad spawn, ever. Isn't that amazing? And here in my container you can see lots and lots of toad spawn. As you can see, it looks like lots of little beads in a necklace, rather than great big clumps that the frogs will lay. What I'm going to do with this, I'm going to take it and put it in my garage and put it by the window, and we're going to watch it grow over the next few weeks and see if it'll grow into tadpoles, and then into toadlets, and then into big toads, and then we'll let them go and put them back into the pond again. Right, now it's time for our story, so I'll see you back indoors shortly. Bye for now. Hello again, we're back in from the garden now. Are you ready for the little red box? Here we go. What's in the box? What's in the box? Is it a rabbit or is it a fox? If you're quiet, you will see a little pink nose looking at me. They're really quite friendly and ever so nice, for here in the box are 3 little mice, and they're so pleased to see you. Can you give them a little wave and say, hi little mice? Okay, they're ready to hear our story today, so I'm going to put them there. But first, I'll show you what you were going to make at Little Life today. You were going to make the life cycle of a frog or a toad, depending on what you did with your bubble wrap. So we have the frog that lays the eggs, and here's our frog spawn, and if it was a toad it would be in a long string like beads, and then the eggs hatch into tadpoles, and then the tadpoles grow into frogs or toads. Maybe while you're at home you could draw your own picture of that, and maybe Mummy or Daddy could post it on the Little Life Facebook page for me to see. That would be great. So, are we ready for our story? Here we go. It's called Growing Frogs. Here we go. Once, when I was little, my mum read me a story about a frog that drank and drank and drank, and it grew bigger and bigger and bigger. Afterwards, Mum asked me if I'd like to watch some real frogs growing. I know where there's a pond with lots of frogs' eggs in it, she said. We could bring some home. I was frightened. I don't want any frogs jumping about getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But Mum gave me a hug. It's only a story, she said. Even when our frogs are grown up, they'll still be smaller than my hand. Oh, I said. Okay. Next day we went to look at the pond. The water was dark brown and there was grey jelly stuff floating on the top. Yuck, I said. There's the frog spawn, said Mum, and she pointed to the grey jelly stuff. I bet that was laid last Friday night. The frogs were croaking so loudly I couldn't get any sleep. You see the black dots in the middle of each jelly shell, said Mum. That's going to grow into a tadpole. So Mum put some pondweed and some stones into a bag. She filled a bucket with pond water, then I scooped a little of the frog spawn into it. When we got home, we put everything into a big fish tank in the kitchen. The cat kept peering at it, so we had to put a wire net over the top. I counted 27 little black dots. Each dot was inside its own jelly shell. There we go. Can we see? Every day when I woke up, I went straight downstairs to look at the frog spawn. The little dots grew bigger and bigger into bigger dots, and then into tiny commas, and then one morning I saw the first tadpole wriggling out of its jelly shell. At first the tadpoles didn't do much. They just stayed close to their jelly shells and nibbled at the pondweed. But after 2 or 3 days they looked quite different. There were feathery things on the sides of their heads. 10 of the little eggs didn't hatch out. The black dots went dull and cloudy, and Mum took them away. Then we cleared out the tank and put in the fresh weed and pond water. One of the tadpoles swam into the hand when I was putting a stone back. It was slippery and slithery, and it made me jump. After a bit, I got used to having tadpoles, and I didn't look at them so often. When Mum told me their little feathery bits had gone, I didn't believe her, but it was true. It was me that noticed the next change, though. Look, I shouted, and Mum rushed to see. Some of the tadpoles had grown 2 little bumps. Mum said the bumps would grow into the back legs. One day there were 2 little bumps, and the next day the bumps turned into stumps, and the day after that they were almost proper legs, and when their feet unfolded they were webbed like tiny browny green fans. They aren't tadpoles anymore, I said. They're not quite frogs. The not quite frogs grew front legs next, and then their tails got shorter and their mouths got wider. Now they're frogs, Mum said. Baby ones. Soon the baby frogs were popping up and down straight at the surface of the water. One of them tried to climb onto the stones, but it slid off. Mum said they were getting ready to leave the water. Grown-up frogs breathe air, she said. That's what the stones are for, so our frogs can climb out of the water and breathe. Not long after, Mum said it was time to take our baby frogs back to live in the pond with all the other baby frogs. I was sorry to leave them, but Mum said we could come back and visit them every day. One rainy morning, a week later, Mum woke me up very early. Hurry, she said, and we ran downstairs and out to the pond. There were hundreds of tiny frogs hopping over the grass. They're looking for dark, wet places to live in, Mum said, but they won't go far. In a couple of years' time, they'll be back to lay frog spawn of their very own. Will they be bigger then, I asked. Just a little, said Mum. Good, I said. I like having baby frogs jumping about, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the end of our story of growing frogs. And I think it's amazing that God thought of frogs that we could watch grow and have fun, maybe even having our own frog spawn growing in our own home. Anyway, Now it's time for song time. We don't have any birthdays this week, so I'll go straight to my song bag and see what's in here today. Right, let me have a rummage, see what I can find. And look, here's Leonora, Lenny's sister. So I think we need to do 5 little speckled frogs. So if you're ready with your hand, got your 5 fingers up, and we'll put our frogs on a log. 5 little speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious grub. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 4 green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. 4 little speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious grub. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 3 green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. 3 little speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious grub. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 2 green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. 2 little speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious grub. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there is 1 green speckled frog. Glub, glub. 1 little speckled frog sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious grub. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are no green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. Give yourself a clap, because that was really good singing, everybody. Right, let's have a look and see what else we've got in my song bag today. Rummage, rummage. We've got a bobbin. How many of you know Wind the Bobbin Up? This is a song we don't sing very often at Little Life. So are we ready? Wind the bobbin up, wind the bobbin up, pull, pull, clap, clap, clap. Wind it back again, wind it back again, pull, pull, clap, clap, clap. Point to the ceiling, point to the floor, point to the window, point to the door. Clap your hands together, 1, 2, 3, and put your hands upon your knee. Well done, everybody. Let's have a look and see what else we've got in here today. Aha, we've got Incy Wincy Spider. Are we ready? I'm sure you all know Incy Wincy Spider, and he can sit on Lenny's back for the time being. Are we ready? Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sunshine and dried up all the rain. So Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the spout again. Lovely, everybody. Let's have a look for one more song in my bag. Aha, I've got sausages. Can you guess what song we're going to be singing with our sausages today? That's right, 10 fat sausages. So we need our fingers again. Are we ready? 10 fat sausages sizzling in a pan. One went and the other went bang. How many have we got left now? That's right, we've got 8. 8 fat sausages sizzling in a pan. One went and the other went bang. 6 fat sausages sizzling in the pan. One went and the other went bang. 4 fat sausages sizzling in a pan. One went and one went bang. 2 fat sausages sizzling in a pan. One went and one went bang. No fat sausages sizzling in a pan. None went and none went bang. Well done, everybody. Now, I think it's time for Great Big God. So you all need to jump up and I need to get up on my knees. Are we ready? Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and he holds us in his hands. He's higher than a skyscraper and he's deeper than a submarine. He's wider than the universe and beyond my wildest dreams. And he's known me and he's loved me since before the world began. How wonderful to be a part of God's amazing plan. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and he holds us in his hands. Well done everybody, good dancing. Are you ready to say goodbye to Lenny now? Little life, hear my call. Little life, stand up tall. Little life, turn around. Little life, touch the ground. Little life, touch your head. Little life, stand on one leg. Oh, it's a bit wobbly today. Little life, give a big sigh. For now it's time to say bye-bye. Bye-bye everybody. Hope you have a lovely week and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.